That's Ye's debut as a producer.
That was his first big moment as a producer.
Big,
so he had H to the Izzo, which was a single before the album came out. And then he had a few cuts on the album, and then Blaze did the other side. So it was just like both of them were the album, basically. So that soul sample sound was the whole blueprint sound, and Ye and Just Blaze did the whole thing, basically.
And he's telling you this, and you believe him? You like?
I'm like, let's meet him. Like at this point, like I'm trying to get signed too, and I'm like, let's try it. You know, like I don't know him, but we'll see. And you never know with hip hop producers, because some aren't musical enough, because they're more like beat driven. And you know, I'm an R&B artist. I'm more soulful, so I want somebody that still has some musical underpinnings. And the good thing about Ye was he was using all the soul samples, and the music was very soulful. So it was like the perfect blend of soul and hip hop for us to work together. So we start working together like late 2001, early 2002. He gets in an accident.
So you met him before the accident?
Before the accident.
Oh, wow.
And I think he was signed by the time he had the accident, but Dame and him, our impression was they signed him just so they could keep him in-house for beats.
For beats,
That's not because they really thought he was going to be a successful
when you say
solo artist.
Who you talking about? You,
me, Ye, Don C, like the crew. So we got this.
Monopoly.
Yeah, the whole crew. Okay. Yeah, so I started to get to know them later, but you know, Devo was working with him, my roommate. He was like basically running his production company, and so you know, Kanye really believed in himself as a solo artist, and a lot of his team did, but I felt, and a lot of us felt like Rockefeller didn't. So he gets in an accident.
Can I tell you real quick something to add to the story? I was working for Def Jam at the time. And they weren't pushing him as an artist. He went and he got the list of all the street teams, sent the white labels of his singles,
He was hustling,
and
man.
started a conference call with himself and all the street teams. Said, yo, we pushing this, like himself. Outside of the infrastructure of the label.
He was so entrepreneurial. He put out his own mixtapes. He got in an accident and made Through the Wire. And then he started just camping, because he got in an accident in LA. So he started just camping out at the W in Westwood in LA. Yeah, and so I would go out there from New York whenever I had time, and we would work on College Dropout with him. And I wrote Used to Love You out there, and some of my songs for Get Lifted. And that's when I started to see, after the accident, this new sense of like, this man is on a mission. And it was started with Through the Wire, but then I heard Jesus Walks and all these other records. I'm like, yo, this is going to be, and I played piano on Lauryn Hill's Miseducation. So
what?
You played? You was on that album?
I played piano on Everything Is Everything on Lauryn Hill's album, and I said to Ye when I was listening to Jesus Walks, I was like, I feel like I was part of one album that changed the world in '98, and album is about to do the same thing in 2004.
And you got credit for Lauryn Hill?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like you
under John Stevens. Yeah. I wasn't John Legend yet.
Yeah.
Yo, that's wild, man. That's crazy.
See, if you paid attention, he said, yeah, he believed in himself as a solo artist. And that's why I always say, if you believe, you can achieve the power in manifesting, the power in believing in yourself. If nobody believes in you, you gotta believe in yourself.
Tell these motherfuckers, subscribe to the Prophet channel.